We are now ready to start playing page 6. So a couple things we need to talk about. First of all, before we play anything, you should always, maybe even before you start your videos, take your mouthpiece off or start with just your mouthpiece, and you need to buzz because you need to warm your lips up. So we'll do that together now, but from now on, I'm going to assume that before you start watching the lesson video, you've already done your buzzing. Okay, so let's do like 10 seconds of buzzing. So I'm going to lick my lips. And here we go. Okay, now my lips are warmed up. I can drop my mouthpiece back in. Okay, so we need to talk about a couple things. Page 6 has some songs with actual titles. So when we're going to start playing real songs, we need to talk about something that's very important for playing an instrument, and that is tapping your foot. You cannot see my foot because it's on the floor, as I cannot see your feet because they are on the floor. However, whenever we're playing, we are always tapping our feet on the beat. So you're going to hear me counting off before we start playing, like 1, 2, ready, play. As soon as I start counting, your foot starts tapping. Tap, tap, tap. And you you tap your foot all the way until the song is over. So now we need to check out how we know if the song is over. Okay, let's look at number 1, time for band. So I'm looking at page 6. Now my music stand is off to the side. Yours should be right in front of you so you can see your book without having to turn your trumpet sideways. Number 1, time for band. Well, a couple things we need to look at. First of all, we are a treble clef instrument, which means our lines are E, G, B, D, F, and we'll come up with a sentence or a way to remember the lines from the bottom up, E, G, B, D, F. And if we look at number 1, you see a note in a box. So I see that it says the letter E. It is a whole note E on the first line, and it says 1, 2. Now that doesn't mean 12. What they're trying to tell you is to play an E, you need to press down finger 1 and finger 2. If it said 1, 2, and 3, you'd have to push them all down. So how do we know which one is 1? 1 is closest to your face. So 1, 2, 3. So let's try finger 1, finger 2. Okay, we're going to try to make the sound of an E. I will play it first so you can hear it. E is a higher note than you've probably played before, so it's very important that your M muscles are turned on. When I blow E or any notes, I make a nice t before I blow. So check it out. Here's an E. You give it a try. Go ahead. Okay, now if yours sounds like this. Oh no, my M was too loose. That wasn't even an M. I don't know what that was. Even this might be too loose. Nope, that's not an E. So nice smiley lips and a before you blow. Okay, and that is the sound of an E. Let's look at the song. I want you to take your finger and put it right on the song where it says time for band. We're going to say the notes, and the way that we say the notes is if it's an E for 4 beats, and we know it's 4 beats because it's a whole note, we're going to say E for 4 beats. Move your finger to the next thing in the song that's not an E. It looks like an upside down hat. We talked about this earlier. There's your whole rest. So for the whole note, we have air coming out of our trumpet, and for the whole rest, you stop the air with your tongue so that no sound comes out. Okay, so let's say the notes for number 1. Put your finger right on it. I'll count us in. You can tap your foot as soon as I start tapping. We are saying the notes. For number 1, time for band. 1, 2, say the notes. E and rest. 2, 3, 4. E and rest. 2, 3, 4. E and rest. 2, 3, 4. E rest. 2, 3, and freeze. Your finger should have landed on a little arrow because the arrow says a double bar line marks the end of the music. So where you see that darker line and a skinny line, that's a stop sign. That means you may put your instrument down. The song is over. You cannot put your instrument down before you get to the double bar. Now, I know some people are thinking, but Miss Bloch, it says a rest. I want to take a rest. Well, they don't mean that kind of rest. It's not like take a nap kind of a rest. It's make sure the air is not going through your trumpet kind of a rest. So check it out. I'm going to play the first note and the first rest so you can hear what I'm talking about. So you can put your eyes back at the beginning and take a listen before we play together. I'm starting from the beginning to watch me play. Okay? You'll notice that I'm not ripping my trumpet off my face to stop the note, so this is not good. That is not a rest. That made some weird elephant noise. Okay? When the whole note's over, put your tongue up, and then you can take a breath and do whatever you need to do. Let's play number one together. Okay? So shake your hands out if they're tired from holding your trumpet. Make sure your left hand's on the bottom. Your right hand's going to rest on top, and because we're playing E for the whole song, we can leave our E fingers down for the whole song. Okay? Here we go. Number one. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2. Keep your eyes on the book. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest, and there's the double bar. Excellent. Now you can go back to rest position. You'll notice my fingers were not doing this. That's too much work for the fingers. It's one note. Leave them down for the whole time. Okay, let's check out number 2. Number 2 is called The Fun Continues. And I see a different note for number 2. I see the letter D, and I see a 1 and 3. That does not mean 13. We do not have 13 fingers, okay? So 1, closest to you. 3, farthest away from you. Now check it out. There is only one way to put your fingers properly on the valves, and that is to bend them so that no fingers are hanging over. This is bad. If your hand is holding over the top of your trumpet, you're actually going to break your valves. So your hand stays open, almost like it's holding a ball, and just your little fingertips touch the tips of the valves. This is also bad. If your hand is flat against your lead pipe, that means your fingers are hanging over. So pull it away. Remember, your thumb sticks out to the side, okay, so that your hand's far away. So I'm going to put down 1 and 3 for D. Let's just try a D. Here's what it sounds like. It's one note lower than E. Give that a try. 1 and 3. Big breath. Cool. We're ready to play number 2. Now, if you're confused and your eyes got lost, please make sure you're keeping your eyes on the book. It's like when you read a sentence. Your eyes follow along with what you're saying. Now your eyes need to follow along with the sound that's coming out. And if you're not sure if the right sound is coming out, you can just listen to what I'm playing while you're playing, okay? So we can check at number 2. We never change from the D note. D, by the way, doesn't even have a line or a space. It's just chilling out in the D area, okay? So we have D, 1 and 3. Here we go. This is number 2. 1, 2. Ready, play. And rest. Keep tapping your feet in the rest. And rest. 2, 3. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. And the song's over. Excellent. Rest position. You might notice that your lips are getting a little tingly. That's good. As we play longer and longer, it'll take longer for them to get tingly, and eventually they just don't get tingly because they're nice and strong. Let's move our eyes down to number 3, which is called a whole lot of counting. Now, number 3, we're going to have to say the names of the notes because the notes change. So put your finger right on the book. For number 3, you can also use a pencil eraser if you'd like to point with that. There should be a pencil in your folder. Okay, but we don't want to point with the pencil tip because it will draw a line on your paper, and that's not good. Okay, so we're going to say the notes for number 3. First of all, we need to tell the difference between an E and a D. So E has the line going through it. On the bottom line is going through the E. D is just chilling out by itself. like no line, no space. Okay, so put your finger on number 3. We're going to say the notes. Say it right with me. 1, 2, ready, say it. E, rest. 2, 3, 4. D, and rest. 2, 3, 4. E, and rest. 2, 3, 4. D, rest, and the song's over. Now here's the thing. You can't change your fingers while air is still coming out of your trumpet. So if we're doing E, stop the air with your tongue. So try that right now. I want you to play E and put your tongue up and see what happens. Hear how fast it cuts it off? So right at the end, we got E, tongue up, and then you can switch to D. Now here's a little trumpet hack. We're always looking for fingers that can stay down. So if E looks like this, and I need to go to 1 and 3, do I need to pick up my first finger? No, it can stay in there. And I'm just going to switch. So let's do that in the air here. E, D, E, D, E, D. And this guy just stays in the whole time. Okay, so let's put our eyes on number 3, and we're going to play the whole song together. All right, we're starting with E. 1 and 2 down. Lick your lips. Eyes on the book. Here we go. 1, 2. Ready, play. Rest and switch to D, 1 and 3. Switch back to E, 1 and 2. Switch back to D, 1 and 3. Rest, and there's the double bar. Very nice. Put your instrument in rest position. Okay. We need to make sure that when we're playing notes on the trumpet, you're giving a nice strong T sound before you blow. Otherwise, I'm going to play the weak trumpet. The weak trumpet is when you just randomly blow, and it sounds like, okay, here, check it out. This is not good. You're like, wow, that sounds like some sort of animal. No. Just use a T sound before you blow. Okay, it shoots the air straight through the trumpet instead of, and then you'll be fine, okay? Easiest note in number 4. Here we go. This is called 4-score. The new note is called C. Yes, this is the note we were trying to make last week before you knew what a C was. C is very easy to see in the music because it has a special line going through it. Also, C is very easy because it has how many fingers? Well, let's look on the box. 0 fingers for C. So literally, your fingers rest on top, and it's the note that just comes out when you blow through the trumpet. Now, if you blow too hard, that is not C, that's a G. Too high, relax. Let's try a C together. Here we go. Okay, C to me is the most relaxed I can be while still playing the trumpet correctly. Let's scan our eyes through number 4. I think we play C for the whole song, so we don't even have to change our fingers. Let's do it. Let's play it together. Here we go. Number 4. 1, 2, C, go. Are you tapping your feet? Ready, go. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest, and the song's over. Excellent. Okay, so number 5, number 6, and number 7 are going to be in the next video. So before you practice 5, 6, and 7, I need you to play 1, 2, 3, and 4 every day for about 2 to 3 days to get your lips strong enough so that when we go to the next video for 5, 6, and 7, you have some lip strength. Okay? So keep practicing number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I would say twice a day, 2 times in a row. And then you're ready to go on to the next video for 5, 6, and 7.